here, aka Crafting Diva. Thank you so much for joining me on my YouTube channel today. I hope you're all doing well, and yes, I'm back with a new video for you all. A huge thank you has to go to Christine Cards and Things here on YouTube. I'll link her channel in that description box below, as I haven't really been crafting much and I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to make, just really hadn't gone into my craft room. And then Christine very kindly nominated me for a brand new challenge, and yeah, it was the perfect little challenge to get me crafting again. This is a wonderful new challenge that is going around YouTube called 5 cards, 1 die, 1 stamp. It was started by the wonderful Jane, the Crafting Shed Davies, so I'll link her channel in that description box below as well if you've never seen Jane's channel or Christine's. They're both two wonderful crafters. I really think you'll enjoy their channels. Yeah, so this is a little challenge that Jane has set up. Basically, she's asking you to make 5 cards. They can be any size, any shape, any design you like, but your main focus of those 5 cards need to be made up using 1 stamp and 1 die. I take it that you're still allowed to use a few other products like inks, some mixed media products. Otherwise, it's a bit awkward just to do cards with just those 2 things. So that is what I have done. So I hope that's okay, Jane. And then what you need to do is make your 4 cards off camera and then make 1 card on camera. Yeah, like I said, Jane said you can use any stamp, any die, any brand, any theme to your designs you like. Just she'd like you to make 4 off camera and 1 on camera, and then at the end of your video she'd like you to nominate 2 more crafters to carry the challenge on. So like I said, I was very kindly nominated by the wonderful Christine, and so I've been busy, I've been crafting. As you can see, I've got inky fingers, and yeah, I really enjoyed making my cards. It really has helped me think. I do love my crafting. I really want to get back into filming for you all, as I've not filmed for a while. You know what it's like, summer comes around and yeah, your crafting goes to one side for a bit, but I'm back and hopefully going to have lots more videos for you all. So first of all, I want to share with you the 4 cards that I've made off camera, and then I'm going to make a little design on camera for you all. So the items I've used to make my designs is I've used a huge mixture of the Tim Holtz Distress Oxide ink pads. I will let you know the names of the colours that I've used on each design if you'd like to have a go at doing a lovely ink blended background yourself. I've also used a Tim Holtz Distress Ink Black Soot for my sentiment. I've used, for my die, I've used this Tim Holtz set. This is a set of 3 dies, and it is the Mixed Media number 2 design set, and I've used this gorgeous swirly design. And as these are the Tim Holtz Mixed Media dies, these actually cut into your cardstock, so that is the die that I've used. And then for my sentiment, I've used a sentiment from this clearly besotted stamp set, and I'm going to be using the sentiment Fabulous Friend. Yeah, like I say, I've used a few other mixed media items. I've used some Novo shimmer powders, some Novo glimmer paste, a little bit of paintbrush to do some splat effects. So yeah, I just wanted to make something a little bit different. Nice to use some different types of products and do a bit of a mixed media feel to my designs. So without further ado, let me show you my first 4 cards that I have come up with. So the very first design I've done is this one here. All my cards are A6 in size. I've either done them as a side fold or a tent fold. This is the very first design. This is a flat design, and what I've done is took a piece of white cardstock and done my ink blended background. For this one I used oxide inks in Spun Sugar, Worn Lipstick, Squeezed Lemonade and Dried Marigold, and I use my blending brushes to blend them inks all together like so. Once I've done that, I use my die, run it through my die cutting machine, and I got this beautiful swirly design cut into my cardstock. I matted a piece of black cardstock in the background and then matted it onto my card front. Then I used some of my Distress ink, the Black Soot, put some on my glass mat, added some some water and used a paintbrush to give the splat effect onto my gorgeous piece of background paper. And then for the finishing touch, I just used a piece of vellum that I ripped and tore, matted that onto a piece of white cardstock, and then stamped my sentiment "Fabulous Friend," and just added these two little sort of dewdrop black ones to either side of my sentiment. So that's my first design. I want to just added a bit of pendulum just to add a bit more detail. So if I give you a little close up, you can see all that detail on that gorgeous background. So that is a flat design there. For my next card, again, I've done an A6 design, again side fold design. For this one, again, I took a piece of plain cardstock and done another beautiful yellowy green blended oxide background. The colours I use for this one are oxide inks in scattered straw, shabby shutters and crushed olive, and I really love how these colours are blended together. Again, once I'd done my background, I used my die to cut into my cardstock and then done the splat effect again with my black ink and a paintbrush and doodled round the edge, stamped my sentiment "Fabulous Friends," and then I've made myself a little shaker pocket that I stuck the whole piece of cardstock onto. I made that by using a A6 clear bag, added all my little shakery bits inside, and then, like I said, stuck the main piece of cardstock onto my little clear bag. And yeah, really pleased with how this turned out. Really do like this design, and the colour of sequins I used, I think, really to pull the whole design together. So that's my second design. For my third card, again, a beautiful blended oxide ink background. For this, I used shaded lilac, seedless preserves and dusty concord ink. Again, blended those all together. And then for this design, this is a gorgeous textured, I hope you can see this, a texture paste design. I did this by cutting my die out of two pieces of plain cardstock, and as you can see, it's made my own stencil. So then I placed that on my blended ink background and put my Novo glimmer paste through this as a stencil, left it to dry, and it's dried absolutely beautifully. Again, did my splatter effect with my distress ink, stamped my sentiment, and again doodled round the edge on my design, and really loved that and loved the texture that's given me by using that texture paste. And I think those purple colours just look absolutely stunning together. So that is my third design. And then my last design is this one here. Again, use my oxide inks to do a beautiful rainbow background. The colours I used here are abandoned coral, dusty concord, twisted citron and a broken china. Again, I did that on a plain piece of white cardstock, did my blending, and then I sprayed it with water to get those inks to oxide. Then I used a piece of vellum, die cutted my die through the vellum, as you can see, stamped my sentiment at the bottom, "Fabulous Friends," and then attached that together with some gorgeous little blue brads. And yeah, again, really love how this design turned out. I loved those colours blended together, and I just think that really makes that die cut element stand out on my card. And again, this was an A6 card with a 10th fold. So they're the 4 designs that I've made off camera, and now I'm going to quickly show you a design on camera. Again, I'm using my Tim Holtz die, and I've done a bit of my die cutting ahead of time because otherwise it'd be a bit awkward to show that on camera. So what I've done so far is I've took an A6 card blank. This again is going to be a 10th fold, and I've placed my die onto my card blank like so. I run it through my die cutting machine, and then obviously you get this gorgeous design cut into your card base. Then what I did was took another piece of white cardstock, again cut the die cut out of it, and then again for this background I've used some of my Novo shimmer powder here, sprinkled that on, sprayed it with water, and as you can see it gives you this lovely mottled sort of marbly effect. Again, splattered that with a bit of my black soot distress ink to tie all the cards together, and then I've just run this through my adhesive sticker machine. So what I'm going to do is very carefully pull this off the adhesive sheet, bring my card base in, and then we want to line this up on top of the piece we have already cut, and I want to give it a bit of a shadow, so I'm going to try and pull it over a little bit so we get a bit of a white shadow like so. Let me just get that to stick. I think off camera I will go round this with a nice black fine liner. So as you can see, we've got this gorgeous design now with that little bit of white cardstock showing to give a lovely little shadow. Yeah, so once we've done that, I want to bring in my sentiment. Again, I'm going to be stamping with my distress ink in black soot. So let me ink up my stamp nice and well. I really enjoyed taking part in this challenge, so a huge thank you to Jane and Christine for Christine nominating me, and Jane for starting the challenge to start with. So I'm going to take my stamp, and hopefully I won't get my head in shot for you all. I'm going to stamp that to the top of my card design like so, like that. Fabulous, friend. And then, like I say, I'd like to put a little bit of black pen around the outside of that when I'm off camera. That'd be a bit easier to do. And then I'm going to take a piece of this coordinating marble effect paper like so, and I think what we'll do is we'll put that inside there. Yeah, that colour doesn't quite show enough, so let's see what other colour we've got that is going to show better. We want a nice colour. Oh, maybe the nice pinky colour might show the best. Let's move that pad out of the way. Yeah, I think maybe a nice bit of pink paper for in the background. Let me just get my trimmer and a pencil so we can cut that down. So we want to cut that just there and there. So let me bring my trimmer in quickly, cut this down for you all. And yeah, really hope this is a challenge you're going to like to all join in with. So if you stay tuned, I'm going to nominate my two people very shortly. But please don't feel in any way pressured. If you don't have the time to join in, that is totally fine. I can always re-nominate someone else. But like I say, it's just been a really fun challenge and has really got me thinking about my craft items, what things I have, really got me using some of my stash up. So I've just put some glue on the back of my piece of pattern paper, and we're just going to stick that inside like so. Quite a simple design, this one, but again, I think with that little bit of white showing, that gives it a beautiful little shadow. I think the pink looked really nice in the background of that one, and like I say, I think I'll add a bit of black doodling to the edge of that just to tie it all in together. So let me bring all my designs in again so you can have another little look at them. Really pleased with how these turned out. Nice mixture of colours and products used. So yeah, really hope you enjoyed having a look at the designs I've come up with. Like I said, I will link Jane's and Christine's channels in that description box below. Love you to go and check them out. And the two people that I'd like to nominate for doing this 5 cards, 1 stamp, 1 die challenge is, I'd like to nominate Jessica, who is the oh, what's Jessica's channel? Oh, it's gone out of my mind. Jessica Marvel Crafts. Sorry, that totally went out of my mind. And also, I'd like to nominate Alex, who is a snail for my mail here on YouTube. So I'd like to nominate you two ladies. Please, like I said, no pressure to join in. It's just a fun little challenge. I'd love to read any of your comments. Let me know what you think of my 5 designs that I've come up with. If you're new to my channel, please hit that like button and subscribe. And I hope to have lots of new videos for you very soon. Thanks so much for watching, and bye for now.